Very warm greetings from the Asian Productivity Organization Secretariat in Tokyo. Welcome to today's Productivity Talk, part of our ongoing series of discussion that dive into transformative trends and strategies for enhancing productivity across diverse sectors. Today, we are going to focus on an area of of interest and hopefully an impact, which is on leveraging AI to enhance productivity and customer experience in the hospitality sector. So as AI continues to reshape industries, its role in hospitality stands out for its ability to personalize experiences, streamline operations, and boost overall efficiency. We'll be exploring how AI can support the hospitality sector in meeting evolving guest expectations, where personalized, responsive, and high-quality experiences are no longer a luxury but an expectation. So our talk will delve into the multifaceted ways AI can improve customer loyalty, operational productivity, and dynamic service through data-driven insights and automation. So consider this. Over 75% of hospitality executives are already using AI for tailored guest experience, with customers increasingly willing to pay for hyper-personalized services. But yet, alongside this advancement, there are questions about the ethical implication of AI, the quality of system integration, and the need for reliable data to ensure transparency and equity. So in this session, we'll discuss both the promise and challenges of AI in hospitality, exploring real-world applications, the potential for AI-driven operational efficiency, and the importance of maintaining human-AI collaboration to enhance, not to replace, human touch points. By investing in quality AI solutions, firms in the hospitality sector can navigate this technological transformation with agility, fostering guest satisfaction and loyalty in an increasingly competitive landscape. So to discuss further about the topic, we're joined today by Dr. Sara Quach. So hi, Sara. It's a pleasure to have you with us here today in this talk.
Thank you very much, Sonny. Thank you for the opportunity to be here today.
So Dr. Sara Quach Thaichon is a distinguished senior lecturer in marketing at Griffith University, Australia, with extensive expertise in customer behavior, relationship management, and marketing technology. She has contributed significantly to international research projects focused on relationship between marketing and technology adoption, amazing over $5 million in research funding. Her achievements have been recognized through several awards, actually, including the 2024 PVC's Research Excellence Award and the 2022 Emerging Marketing Researcher of the Year by Australian New Zealand Marketing Academy. So she has been producing research output, which is very substantial, with over 80 A-star and A-rank journal articles, and her work has garnered more than 4,000 citations. So Dr. Thaichon's research portfolio showcases her commitment to advancing knowledge in AI applications, sustainable agriculture, and digital transformation in hospitality. Her recent projects explore using AI for precision in resource management, customer experience and enhancement, and data-driven decision-making. A thought leader in both academia and industry, Dr. Thaichon frequently shared her insight through media engagement, contributing to public understanding of marketing trends, AI ethics, and consumer behavior among the field that she has been contributing to. Her expertise and collaborative approach continue to drive impactful innovation across sectors and foster interdisciplinary growth in marketing and technology. So before Sara will start with her sharing, I would like to invite viewers of this talk to leave comments or questions in the live chat below. Now I would like to have Sarah to start with your sharing. Over to you, Sarah.
Thank you very much, Sony. Thank you, and hello, everyone. It's my pleasure to be here today and to discuss a very important topic, as Sony just mentioned, about how to leverage AI in the hospitality sector. My name is Sara Quach Thaichon from Griffith University, and I'm going to discuss how AI is enhancing both productivity and customer experience. These are the two core drivers in the competitive hospitality industry. AI is transforming the way hotels operate, interact with guests, and meet the demand for personalization and efficiency. So, firstly, I would like to have a quick overview of today's agenda. I will begin by outlining the role of AI in hospitality and the technological evolution. We'll then explore AI application in personalization, experience of customers and engagement, and then how to improve operational efficiency using AI. Then we will engage with the discussion on key consideration, for instance, data quality and ethics, and there will be some takeaways at the end. So first, let's start with AI in hospitality. Technologies have developed so much over time. And in fact, according to a research by PwC, companies that fully utilize technology development, invest in technology, integrate technology into their business operation, can capture a performance premium worth more than 13 times that of their industry peers. So there is a significant role of technology. And on the slide on the screen that you can see, there's a significant evolution over the last few decades from the communication era, where there's one-way to two-way communication and interaction between humans, to the data era, where we are collecting so much data, from structured data, unstructured data, and it's enhanced the relationship, the interaction between human and machine. And now we're in the insight era with a lot of developments in terms of AI, VR, AR, IoT, from separate realities to mixed connected realities, from personalization to hyper personalization. And there's a lot more interaction between machine to machine. We're actually heading toward total connection era. And at that stage, we are looking at significant advancements in technology, including artificial general intelligence or super intelligence, quantum computing. So now at that stage, we witness the convergence of digital and physical reality, and the relationship between human and machine become a lot more sophisticated, a lot more integrated. So that come back to the role of AI. AI can be employed in every phase of business strategy. And that's good news, right? Because AI can help us with the planning phase, so that it can help us to analyze a lot of data to provide insights to inform our decision making. It can also forecast trends and behaviors. It can also profile the customer, segment the customer, and it helps us to monitor the market trends and also what our competitors are doing. And with all of those insights, we can move on to the execution phase, where we use AI to enhance our content strategy. We can also use AI to provide customer service. Think about chatbots, right? And then we can even make adjustment, real-time adjustment to our tactics as well. For instance, programmatic advertising, where they can automatically place the ads, adjusting the budget, auction, etc. And there's also automatic campaign management. With AI, we can also measure, monitor the performance of our strategy. We can predict, analyze return on investment. And based on all of the data that we have about our performance, we can then refine our strategy over time. We can use the data to allocate resources to make sure that we can use the most effective channels and tactics to serve our customers. And AI can help us also to monitor compliance with the ever-changing landscape of regulations and ethical standards. So let's move on to the first very critical, important component and benefit of AI in the hospitality sector, AI for personalization and customer experience. 70% of hospitality executives are already using AI to personalize guest experience and to increase the loyalty of their guests. And 61% of hotel guests will spend more for personalized experiences. So that's showing how significant it is for personalization to contribute to not just guest satisfaction, but also their loyalty and the bottom line of the business. So how AI can be used to engage and enhance the experience of the customers? So there are three steps that you can see on the screen there. The first one is segmentation and customer profiling. So basically, we need to understand customers, to know who they are, what they want, what would be the expectations. So we understand our customer very well, then we can generate insights about them and then use the insights to tailor communication and offerings. So we can provide recommendation, personalized recommendation and product offerings to our customer using the insight that we got from segmentation and customer profiling at every stage of customer journey. So it's not just limited to the time where customers stay with us, but also before their booking, when they book the stay, and after the stay as well. And then AI can also help us to develop the relationships and maintain the relationship with our guests using ongoing personalized communications. And lots of tools that can help us with that, for instance, email marketing or advertising. So this is an example of segmentation and personal profiling, and actually part of the project that my colleagues and I are working on. So I've been working on this a project about AI powered recommendations to delight customers with my colleagues from Griffith University in Australia, Cornell University from the US, and Vinh University in Vietnam, to understand how we can use AI to personalize the offers or recommendation to our customers. And we start with dynamic segmentation and personal profiling. So traditionally, segmentation is done as a static process, which means that it's you a single point of data at a time. But we should also understand that customers do not stay the same. They changes over time, and they changes in different circumstances, different situations. For instance, if a customer, a guest stay at the hotel, if they stay at the hotel with the families, their preferences, their needs and wants would be different comparing to the times when they stay with their friends. So understand the distinction between the guest behaviors and preferences in different situations can help us to dynamically segment the market and profile them, create a persona for our customers. So we can use data from multiple sources, for instance, social media, so social networks, to understand the relationship between the guest, and also based on their history, we can understand what types of activities that they are interested in. And then we can collect the data at different points in time, different points of interest as well, to have a more comprehensive understanding of the customer. And we can clearly identify the customer persona in specific situation, in specific circumstances, and how this changes over time. And as I mentioned earlier, AI can also help to provide tailored communication offering throughout the customer journey. And by customer journey, I mean, different stages. So we can see on the slide is a very simple demonstration of customer journey. Because customers start with being aware about the hotels, and then they're looking for more information, evaluate different alternatives, and then that would be in a repurchase, rebooking stage, and then actually make the booking, stay with the hotel, and if they're happy, they're satisfied, they become a loyal customer and potentially become an advocate. So spread positive word of mouth about the company. And with hyper-personalization, which means the company provide recommendation based on individual customers, individual persona, we can create value for the customer, for the guest, throughout the journey. For instance, before they stay with us, we can send them an email with their name to create a personal touch. And we can also include some of the point of interest there based on the guest history of maybe like the history of visit, or like the profile that we have about our guests, to make sure that we can create that special connection with our guests even before they stay with us. And this is another example from Homes and Villas by Marriott. So this day actually happened even before booking happens, right? So customers can just put in the search queries there, and based on the information from the customer, which is really individual, the system is going to provide them with the personalized recommendations in line with their expectation and preferences. One of the very important application of AI is humanoid robots. And this is where the customer actually arrive at the hotel. So they already booked the stay. Now they arrive and about to stay with the hotel, spend the time with the hotel. So humanoid robots can be used to provide unique experience for our guests. And it's really important to hotels, hospitality industry. We have guests from all over the world. They might be arriving late at night, early in the morning. They come from different regions, different countries, so they speak multiple languages. So having that language support, 24-hour availability provided by the humanoid robot staff is actually really helpful and beneficial for the hotel guest. And the photos there is an example of humanoid robot staff at the front desk at a hotel in Tokyo. Robots can also handle repetitive tasks during high demand period. So that free up the time for humans, and it's maintain the service standards, especially when there's a peak high demand and we might not have so many staff on the floor. Another application for that AI can help to engage in customers and enhance customer experience is AI chatbot. AI chatbot will be able to provide conversational recommendations and real-time responses before, during, and after the stay of the guest. So guests can easily communicate with a chatbot to request, some services or to ask for some certain recommendations anytime easily through an app or like an online interface, and it's really convenient, and because it's real time, so it's very responsive, and it can build the relationship with guests by timely responses, high quality responses. One of my recent studies actually found that higher human-like language would increase customer engagement with chatbots, and that could translate into customer satisfaction and trust. With the advancement in generative AI chatbots are increasingly empathetic and more human-like. So a real possibility that firm can build relationship with their guests through the use of chatbots to increase the loyalty and trust and bring a unique experience to our guests. So retargeting is another application of AI. Generally, when we go on a website, for instance, like we search for a hotel in Agoda, and then we left without making any booking, and then we see the ads about that particular hotel again in the website. So that is retargeting. So retargeting track the visitors and show them ads on the different properties, and that actually is really effectively re-engage with the consumers and encourage them to take action after they see marketing communication from the hotel, from the company. Traditionally, it's only about 40.8% customer actually take action after they see an ad. So using retargeting, we can convince the rest of the customers, of the visitors, to take action after they see our marketing communication. And in fact, 70% are more likely to convert after seeing retargeted ads. So it can be a really effective way to re-engage with the customer, to remind them about the action that they could take, for instance, like make a booking with us. So that was about the personalization and customer experience. How about productivity? What is the role of AI in relation to productivity in the hospitality sector? So AI can definitely help to improve operational efficiency because AI can automate routine, repetitive tasks. For instance, they can handle bookings and communication with guests. They can answer some simple queries. So AI would enable the human staff to focus more on personalized, high-level interaction with guests. And this can help to improve the service quality and also the productivity of the hotels as well, since a lot of the cost in the hotel actually attributed to labor cost. So there's some cost savings implication there too. And as you can see there on the screen, AI tools also free up some time for the marketing teams as well, and can provide customer service. So it can be quite effective in relation to operational efficiency. AI also help us with resource planning using predictive analysis. We can predict the peak demand periods, so that we can schedule staffing and also allocate resource appropriately. Depends on the level of demand that predicted by AI. This approach would increase efficiency and make sure that guests have a good experience, an excellent experience, regardless whether it is the peak or off-peak demand periods, and all of their requests can be met in a timely manner as well. And finally, workflow automation is another benefit that AI offer. AI can reduce operational cost because it can automate workflows. So an example that you can see in the slide there, when a lead from an online advertising campaign can be followed up almost instantly by the sales teams using these workflows. So we can set up some of the triggers and some of the predetermined action to make sure that there's a quick process to engage the customers, engage the lead at the very beginning and move them across the marketing funnel from, like pre-purchase, like pre-booking to booking, and then stay with us, and then post-purchase where they happy and they give us positive feedback. So everything can be automatic, and overall it can enhance the guest experience, create a seamless transition between different departments within a business, and eventually it would also increase the higher satisfaction rates and customer loyalty. So AIs offer lots of benefits, but in order to successfully implement AI system, we also need to consider a few factors. One of those is AI quality. So we need to consider the quality of information. So AI need to provide accurate information, current information, and also the system. So the system should be reliable. The system should be flexible, so it can be adapted. It can be integrated into the hotel management system. It can be modified, adapted to certain, function to certain individuals, and it should also be very timely, so very responsive. And that's highlight the importance of accurate data and robust algorithms, and the importance of integration with existing infrastructure to make sure the seamless transition between different departments and the different processes when customer interact with the business. So overall, if we can ensure the quality of the AI system, we can enhance customer trust and also improve the decision making by the business as well. And we cannot deny the benefits of personalization, right? And in fact, as we discussed earlier, personalization offers a lot of benefit in terms of customer engagement and experience. But the success of personalization actually depends on two factors. The first one is the ability of the business to obtain and process customer information. So they need to have the technological capabilities to do that. And also very important, the second factor is the customer willingness to share information and to use personalization service. As you can see there from this figure from Deloitte, not everybody is happy about how companies use their personal data. And in fact, there's quite a lot of concern about the way the firm collect data or handle data. And that also reflect in the level of regulations, data protection, privacy protection, regulatory frameworks all over the world. There's a lot of regulations have been implemented, and are being planned to be implemented very soon all over the world. And that points to the privacy tensions. So form actions, for instance, the way that they use data, the way that they collect the data, the way that they share the data with third parties would have an impact on customer action. So depending on how customers perceive firm action, they will engage in privacy protection behavior. And that also inform the government action. So how government gonna release or impose more stringent privacy regulations. And all of those factors together create a tension, the privacy tension that could have an impact on the performance of the company, profitability of the company, the relationship between the company and the customers. And company need to understand this tension and try to address this, especially when they engage with new technologies such as AI, which require a lot of information. So overall, hotels would need to collect data more responsibly. They need to be resourceful with how to reach the audience, so engage more in permission marketing. They need to hire and train privacy. Privacy should be the core of the business that well understood by the employees at multiple levels, and not just something nice to have. Another consideration about AI is ethical consideration, because AI often contain biases. For example, implicit bias, because when the AI algorithms or model is designed, there could be some human decision informed. For instance, the weight that the weighting that attributed certain factors in the algorithms might be decided based on the experience or based on the knowledge of the human who designed the system, who create the algorithms. And sometimes there are biases there. For example, an AI recommendation system to analyze customer feedback may assign a higher weight to factors that historically have high ratings, and lower weight to factors that are equally important, but not as having higher rating as like the other factors. There could be sampling bias, which means that the training data is not representative of the whole population. There could also be temporal bias, which means that the AI, the training data can predict really well what was currently happening, but they not take into consideration or cannot account, did not factor in the changes in the future. For instance, the model that trained using the data pre-COVID-19 would not perform very well in predicting trends after COVID-19, because COVID-19 is a significant event that have significantly changed consumer behaviors and also the way the business operate. There's also the risk of overfitting to training data when the model is predicted very well, trains within the training data, but not perform very well with the actual data. And there always edge cases and outliers, those like a value that's on the boundary or extreme values that would have an impact on the accuracy of the AI model. So what could be some key takeaways based on what we have discussed so far? The futures of AI. So robots, an example that we provided early, humanoid robots, can be a really nice, can provide additional value to guests, including unique experience. They can create memorable guest interaction. So there could be more opportunities to create immersive experiences with the help of AI in the hospitality sector. And as AI evolves, humanoid robots can also integrate seamlessly with hotel management system, and therefore we can enhance the operational efficiency and personalization as well. However, there are still challenges and other considerations, especially ethical consideration, like we discussed earlier, with privacy, with AI biases. There's also maintaining costs and the cost for implementing new technology within a business, integrated the technology into the existing business system. And a very important issue is to find the right balance between AI and human interaction and collaboration. Because of that, I would definitely have a significant impact on work and employment for the hospitality sector. So a clear trend would be there's a shift in roles, because AI can automate tasks. They can engage with repetitive routine tasks. So staff will be shifted to more strategic roles. And therefore, there would be opportunities for those with the skill of AI management, data analytics, but that also pose challenges to the workforce as well. Because of the changing skill requirements, there's a need to upskilling and reskilling the workforce to meet the demands for the new opportunities. So for the future direction, upskilling and reskilling programs would be very, very helpful. and should be implemented by hotels to train staff for higher value tasks. And we also need to understand and have them maintain the mindset that we should not lose the human touch. AI can handle routine work, but the personal stuff should still be there as a core of the business. So staff should focus on more personal interaction. And because there's a lot more AI integrated roles and collaboration, so there should be workforce transition support. So hotel can support staff in their transition to engage and interact and collaborate with AI more. So in conclusion, AI is transforming productivity and customer experience in the hospitality industry. From hyper-personalized interactions to operational efficiencies, AI offers a range of possibility. But the success of this application actually relies on a lot of factors. For instance, the quality of the system, the ethical concern, privacy, AI biases. So business need to take into account all of these factors when they implement the AI system in their business to make sure that they can create value for the customers, to engage customer, and to create delightful customer experience. So thank you very much for listening. This is the end of my presentation.
So thank you so much for that really informative and entertaining sharing that you have done to us, Sarah. So allow us now to proceed to the next part of this talk, which is on the question and answer. The first question that I have is there's at least two things, right, that we can consider. You mentioned about the personalization and also the possibility that personalization can be extremely done. And at the same time is the use of the data itself. I believe that personalization, hyper personalization, also coming from the fact that the data that being extracted, being used. So how can AI system in the hospitality industry be designed to balance these two, meaning that hyper personalization with ethical data use? So particularly by considering the fact that there is this growing privacy concern among consumers. So your view on this, Sarah?
Thank you very much for the question. This is a really good question and some important issues that need to be considered by the hospitality businesses. Obviously, hyper-personalization offers a lot of benefit, but as we can see, there's concerns about ethical data use, privacy concerns. So these issues need to be addressed. If we want to create an excellent experience for our customers, and therefore the AI system in hospitality industry should be designed around transparent, privacy conscious practices that respect the control of the customers and build trust among the customer. There's a few strategy that we could use to achieve this to address this issue. So the first one is we need to engage in permission-based marketing. So it means that we allow our guests to opt in for specific types of personalized service or promotion. So they would give us the consent to receive certain offers or recommendation, for instance, like personalized dining or activity suggestions. So firms should allow control over data preferences so the customer can decide exactly what information they're comfortable sharing. For example, a guest might consent to share preferences for the use of amenities, but they refuse to share location data, and it's totally fine. They should be given the choice. So giving them the choice, the control over the type of data the amount of data, the level of data that they want to share, it would help to make them feel empowered in managing their privacy. There should also be some opt-out mechanisms as well. So it should be relatively easy for guests to opt out in terms of like what personalization level that they want. So they can choose to turn up certain types of recommendation or limit frequency of personalization. So that would again create a more comfortable level of personalization among guests. So that ensure personalization can create value for guests, but at the same time, they're also comfortable with it and to minimize the issue that's going to happen. The second strategy that we can use is to engage in the principles of data minimization and purpose limitation. So basically, data minimization means that we should only collect the information that's really necessary for providing a specified service. For example, instead of obtaining data, like all of the behavioral data from our guests, we should only collect specific references directly related to their experience to serve them. For instance, maybe the room temperature, or maybe their preferred checking methods. And purpose limitation, basically to ensure that data is collected for one purpose and is not used without any consent of the guest. Apart from that, company can also use anonymization, basically removing identifiable information from the data. They can also use data aggregations as well. So they can collect general trends, let's say on amenity usage, instead of just get information from individual customers, so that they can use information to improve AI system without necessarily identifying specific guests. And there's a wide range of privacy-enhancing technologies nowadays that firm can use to ensure the privacy of their customer. For instance, differential privacy, federated learning, these all of the techniques that the firm can implement. But overall, they need to be transparent about what data is collected, how data is stored, how data is used for personalization, in order to build trust among the guests, and perhaps provide maybe a privacy dashboard or like a data privacy to inform the guests and to help them understand what benefits that they would receive from the shared data. They can also communicate any method, any security measure that they implement to protect the privacy of the guests as well, and that one also can help increase trust among the customers. So overall, by implementing those practices, hospitality system can provide personal experience and at the same time still respect the privacy of the guests and respond to the privacy concerns and make sure that we are compliant with the growing regulations related to privacy globally. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you so much, Sarah, for that response, which is very much elaborated and really addressing the concern here. So you also mentioned about potential biases, right? That could come from the use of AI-driven customer service tools in this particular industry. Now, I think in the future, we will be looking that the use of AI is becoming more and more, and AI itself as a technology will be advancing. Now, my question is, what kind of safeguard that we can have to prevent these implicit biases within AI-driven customer service tools, so we can ensure that there is a fair treatment across diverse customer demographics. Your view on this, please, Sarah.
Thank you very much for the question. And again, this is a really important issue with the movements towards inclusivity, diversity, equality in lots of business and all over the world, ensuring that we can overcome AI biases and provide fair and inclusive treatment across diverse customer demographics should always be a priority in any hospitality businesses that implement the AI system. So there's a few safeguards that can help us to achieve that. So as we discussed during the presentation, the data is really important because we use data to train AI. So one of the fundamental steps in minimizing bias is using training data that accurately represents the diversity of the customer base. So this means that we use data from a wide range of demographics, for instance, age, gender, ethnicity, nationality, language preferences, and especially if a hotel operates globally, then AI should be trained on the interaction with guests across different regions from different cultural backgrounds. So to minimize biases against different demographics. It's also important to create like the feedback loops as well. So AI systems should incorporate continuous feedback from guests to identify any potential intended or or unintended biases. So a hotel should encourage guests to provide feedback on the experience. So they when they collect these data to adjust AI behavior, they can improve the system in real time. So if any group report perceived bias when during the interaction with AI, their input can be analyzed to refine AI responses and improve fairness. There's also technology techniques that can help to assist that. So, for instance, we can apply the fairness constraints. So basically, for example, an AI-driven service recommendations engine could be designed to equalize the likelihood of premium service offerings across demographics. Or we can also apply counterfactual fairness testing, where the AI checks if its response would change if the customer demographic attributes were different. So that would ensure that the decision that the system make doesn't is based on the demographic factors. So we can also implement the human in the loop mechanisms as well. So basically, there's a human agent reviews and validates AI decision for sensitive and complex cases. For example, when AI suggests upgrades of the service or some specialized services, human agent can review these recommendations and suggestions to see whether they are appropriate or whether they are unbiased. So this approach would help to combine the efficiency of AI with the judgment of the human employers. And finally, companies should always continuously update their model because biases can evolve over time. So it's important to update the model regularly with more recent data, trends, customer expectations, social changes can influence how customers react and interact with the service. So if the AI system can be updated to reflect current unbiased perspectives, then it would help to minimize the biases present in the system and enhance the inclusive practices with the customers. Thank you.
Right. So traditionally, hospitality industry is human centered, right? Personally, I would rather to be served by human, but rather than by humanoid robots, right? But there has been really huge shift in the industry because of several contexts. For example, the increase of labor cost, those kind of thing, and also the advancement of the technology. So with this increasing integration of humanoid robots in the sector, in this hospitality sector, how can organizations maintain a right balance between automation and human touch, right? Which is the core of the industry, to optimize guest satisfaction without really depersonalizing service. How about this, Sarah? Your view on this, please.
Sure, that is an excellent question. In fact, humanoid robots in hospitality offer exciting opportunities for efficiency, novelty that we discussed earlier. But you're right. It's very crucial to balance this automation with human touch, which is the core of the hospitality industry. We need to reserve the warmth, the personalization that is part of the expectation of guests. So that there's some strategy that we can use to make sure that we can balance that. So we can use robot to enhance the services without necessarily depersonalizing it. So the first very important point is that we use robots to enhance, not replace human interactions. So humanoid robots can handle time-consuming tasks, repetitive tasks, routine tasks. For instance, like check-ins, luggage assistant, room deliveries. So when hotel assign robots to do these tasks, they can free up human staff to focus more on complex, personalized interaction. For example, at the check-in, robot can greet guests and maybe handle initial checking steps, but then a human staff can step in for question about the local area or some special requests for recommendations to reserve the personal aspect of the service. It's always nice to have someone answering the question from a human perspective. For instance, if the guest asks, where's the best restaurant in the area? So the staff can always say, oh, this is a good one. I have tried it, I tasted it, and this is my opinion. And this is always a lot more personal, a lot more relevant than when they hear from a robot. So robots should be positioned as tools to support and enhance the human staff rather than replace them. We can assist in peak time, can manage check-ins, room service deliveries, especially when we don't have many staff on the floor because of the high demand. But after those simple tasks, robots can direct guests to human employees for questions that require empathy or more sophisticated responses. There's some specific interaction that require human empathy. For example, handling complaints or service recovery, addressing special requests, or assist with personal needs. So firm can reserve those types of interaction for human staff to ensure that human will be there to manage those situations that require emotional intelligence, to make sure that guests feel valued and understood. And this complementary approach would help to ensure that robots can improve efficiency without reducing the human touch. And it's also very important that hotel give guests the option to choose which interaction that they want to have. So they can choose between robot or human interaction. So give them the control over the experience. Some might prefer the novelty of robot, but some might be more comfortable interacting with human. So they should be allowed to select their preferred service style. And this flexibility actually respects their preferences and promotes a more personalized experience. And in order for these to be successfully implemented, hotels should train staff to work alongside robots. So with the popularity of the use of humanoid robot, there could be some uncertainty, some pressure from on the staff. They might be unsure about are they being replaced, or what can they do, with the some of the tasks dedicated to the robot, etc. So training staff to collaborate with the robots, having very clear guidelines and instruction to inform staff how they should interact with the robot, how they should manage robot-related tasks, and step in when needed, can ensure a smooth get experience. So, for example, if robot encounters a really sophisticated question, then staff should be trained to quickly take over. And the transition between staff and robot support should be very seamless, to foster a cooperative atmosphere and to increase the satisfaction among guests. And again, always gather and analyze feedback on robot interaction. So hotel will understand what is lacking, whether the service provided by robot is enhancing or detracting from the experience, and then they can use that feedback to improve the role of robots to identify potential discomfort that their guests might be experiencing, to optimize the balance between automated and human services. And it would also be helpful to maintain communications. So it could be, like advertising, marketing materials, in-room messaging, staff training to emphasize the human-centered values of the hotel. So that would create a reassuring environment where the customers see robot as the support tools within a larger empathy-driven service model. So that would be some of the strategy that hotels could use to make sure that they maintain that delicate balance between automation and human touch.
So unfortunately, we are approaching toward the end of this talk. I wish we could have another hour to continue our discussion, but allow me to touch upon the last question that I have, which is on the other side of the business. So we have talked about the product side of the sector, but now how about the planning part, the resource planning part in the industry? And I'm trying to relate that with the use of AI driven predictive analytics. So how could AI driven predictive analytics can transform resource planning in hospitality, and what factors might influence the accuracy and the relevance of this prediction in the dynamic of the market condition? As we learned from COVID, it was really a disturbance, right? Something that is really abnormal, and then we couldn't really predict that, and everyone was kind of like confused what to do. But how about now? After that happened, we learned a lot, and then now we rely on AI more and more. And can we really rely on that with, of course, with certain rate of accuracy, and of course with relevance, so then we can have really a more productive resource planning part of the sector? So what do you think about this, Sarah?
Thank you for the question. Definitely the use of AI can really helpful in terms of resource planning in hospitality, and even cost savings as well, when a lot of business and hotels are being constrained with having lots of financial constraint, especially challenges and difficulties after COVID, just like you mentioned, Sony. So AI-driven predictive analytics can greatly enhance resource planning by anticipating demand patterns. They can also optimize staff allocation, improve inventory management to make sure that it's more efficient and better guest satisfaction. Some example of how AI can help with resource planning include the optimization of staffing levels, because predictive analytics can analyze historical occupancy data, booking trends, local events scheduled to predict the peak demand periods For instance, they can identify patterns indicating high occupancy during the weekends, holiday season, or local events. So with these insights, hotel can plan staffing schedule more effectively. So they can ensure that they have enough staff during busy time, and they can reduce the number of staff during slower periods, and that could save costs as well to minimize labor costs, but at the same time, they still can maintain high service standard. And at the same time, AI can also help with inventory and supply management. So they can predict the consumption patterns among guests, for instance, the room service orders, dining preferences, spa usage, etc. So they can forecast what would be the inventory levels for different services. So, for example, they predict high demand for spa treatments during upcoming holiday. Then they can pre-stock supplies, reducing the risk of running out of the stock, and ensure that guests receive timely service. So that not just prevent excessive stock and waste, leading to cost savings, but it also make sure that guests can receive service, and there will be no disruption to guest experiences. AI can also help with dynamic pricing strategies as well. So it can analyze historical data, competitor pricing, and demand fluctuation to set the optimal room rates in real time. So it can increase the price, maximize revenue based on its demand prediction. For example, if it indicates that there will be a surge in demand, then it can increase the room rates accordingly. Or if there is not much demand, it can offer discount to boost occupancy. And AI can also help to forecast the use of equipment, energy usage, to have to adjust, to the level of energy usage, or to schedule the maintenance of equipment. But in order for AI to effectively play its role in resource planning, there's a few factors that can influence that. The first one is data quality and recency, because we need high quality, up-to-date data for accurate predictions. So we need to consider a lot of sources of data, historical booking patterns, guest behavioral data, market trends. This data must be continually updated. In addition, we also need to account for seasonal and event-based variability as well. So when new events are planned or events are cancelled, AI should be able to update it to reflect the changes in the demand in relation to those situations. There's also economic market conditions, weather, environmental factors. So all of those external factors would need to be taken into consideration to make sure that the prediction are relevant and accurate to the changes in the market. And again, competitor and industry trends would be important because in order for AI to be able to predict and provide recommendations regarding, for instance, dynamic pricing, it needs to have information about the competitors and the market to anticipate potential demand shifts and then adjust the pricing or resources accordingly. So it's important to take into account all of those factors and continuously refine the models based on the actual outcomes to improve the accuracy of the predictive analytics models.
So thank you, Sara. Thank you so much, Sara, for that sharing, as well as for your patience in entertaining our questions. The last request that I would like to have from you is that if you would like to highlight briefly 2 key points from this talk, so then the viewers of this talk, can learn about it, can implement it, or can do something about it. So what would be those 2 key points, Sara, please?
Thank you, Sonny. So I guess the 2 main key takeaways from this talk is that AI offer endless possibilities in terms of enhancing customer experience and operational efficiency, productivity. But important things here is that AI is a technology that assists and supports our decision making, our operations. It cannot replace humans, and especially in hospitality, where human touch is the center, is the core of the businesses. So it's really important for businesses to implement AI in the way that they can still reserve that human touch, that personalized experience, and still able to maintain their identity, even with the increasing use of automation services. And the second point is that AI usage is not without risk and challenges. In order to implement AI successfully, businesses always need to consider a variety of factors. And for example, like we discussed a lot during the presentation, the privacy issue, ethical issues, and it's important that businesses have strategies in place to address all of those issues, to make sure that AI is used ethically and responsibly. And I believe that they are the most two important key takeaways from this presentation. Thank you.
So I would like to express our gratitude to you, Dr. Sara Quach, for sharing your knowledge with us, which is pretty much appreciated. Those are really valuable. Perhaps we could continue our discussion in the follow-up talk of this productivity talk. So to the viewers, I would like to thank to you as well for your engagement. If you have comments and questions, please leave them on our YouTube channel, and we'll try to get back to you as soon as we could. We give you a chance to put up question to Dr. Sara Quach. I believe that she would be very happy to provide us with the answer to your questions. So if you like to receive updates on the future APO P Talk and any other updates related to APO, please subscribe to our YouTube channel accordingly. Please also share this P Talk to your network and colleagues so this knowledge and information can be spread out in order to enhance the productivity there out in the field. So we'll see you again in the next APO Productivity Talk, and thank you so much.